Welcome to Deadly Dames. So this video is going to be my top 10 favourite horror themed TV shows. Now I very nearly included sci-fi TV shows into this, but then I thought, no, I need to narrow this down to ones which are more horror themed and go from there. So we'll go from 10 to 1. So starting off at position 10, I have Black Mirror. Now, when I'm doing this, oh sorry, a lot of glare here. 2 seconds, I'll swing round and in that way hopefully there's not as much glare. So when I'm doing this, I'm actually taking into consideration the series as a whole, rather than just the season that's in front of you. That's better. So yeah, Black Mirror. So it is a British-based TV show. I don't know if a lot of people in America have maybe seen it, but if you haven't, it definitely get a chance to look at this show. So every episode is a different episode, and it focuses on lots of different types of like horror. And what makes me put this TV show on this list is there's one particular episode in season 1. Now there's loads of good episodes, but this one particular one, it just, every time I watch it, it still creeps me out. And it's National Anthem, and if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. So National Anthem's basically kind of like Escape from New York in a little way. Like, they think that the Prime Minister's daughter has been kidnapped, and this gang is making him do things to get her back, and one of the things in particular will stick in your mind and will never leave you, put it that way. So yeah, if you haven't had a chance to watch Black Mirror, you definitely have to get it. It's very cheap in HMV just now if you're in the UK, so go and pick it up. It's also got the season 2 and the Christmas special, and I know season 3's due to be released. Well, I think it's coming on Netflix, so it must be due to be released on DVD anytime soon. Then we've got in position 9 a TV series which, in my personal opinion, ended too soon. Masters of Horror. So again, each episode of this is a different director doing it. So basically what it has is it's got all horror directors that you class as Masters of Horror. So John Carpenter, Dario Argento, it's got Mick Garris. Let me see if I can think of any of the other ones that's on here. Lucky McGee, you know, loads and loads of different types of horror directors, and it's basically like a short movie rather than an actual episode, because they're quite long. I mean, I think they're about an hour long each episode, but some of them are fantastic. I mean, I love John Carpenter's one, and that's I really love Jennifer, which Dario Argento did. But to be honest, actually, I think I probably need to revisit some of them, because it's been a while since I've watched them all, but there was only 2 seasons of Masters of Horror, and I just feel like it would have been great if they had more. Because they could have started to bring in a lot of the sort of newer directors which are coming out, so like Ty West and Adam Green and oh god, the guy that did Saw, I forgot his name, but you know, they could have had all these people starting to do Masters of Horror. It's a shame that Wes Craven never got to do one. It would have been good to see him doing an episode of Masters of Horror. But yeah, I think Mick Garris, who created this, he did a lot of adaptations of Stephen King stuff, but he also did a TV series called Fear Itself, which, as far as I'm aware, only had 1 season, which was a shame because I really enjoyed that as well. And to be honest, if I was doing my top 11 horror series, Fear Itself would have been in position 11, but yeah, Masters of Horror, fantastic. If you are a horror fan, I would highly recommend watching them. And then we're moving on to another British-based TV series. There was only 2 seasons of this, but it's a type of show that really only needed 2 seasons. I think if it tried to go any further than that, it probably would have run out of ideas pretty quickly. It was really good, I think, that it kept it to 2, and that's Afterlife. And yes, you are noticing Andrew Lincoln, who's obviously in The Walking Dead. But this is basically about a paranormal... Well, it's a lot of paranormal in it, but it's basically about a psychic and how she links in with this guy and the sort of things that she starts to solve. So it's kind of like Medium, only personally for me this is a lot darker than Medium. There's a lot of horrible themes in it. Also it deals with child death, child loss, recovering from the loss of obviously the children dying. But yeah, I absolutely loved Afterlife, and when someone recommended it to me quite a long time ago now, and when I first put it on, I couldn't stop. I found myself like 4 o'clock in the morning still watching season 2. And I had to see it all the way through to the end, and it's got a fantastic ending. And that's a good thing about it only being 2 seasons, is that it actually got to have an end. And a lot of stuff actually get cancelled and you never get to see it wrapped up. But this one was great, and Definitely worth watching. And then we'll move on to what are we on? Next one is Tales of the Crypt. So, classic Tales of the Crypt. Again, I think most people have seen at least one episode of this, or at least the movies that came out after this. But yeah, you've got your Crypt Keeper. Oh, never noticed that this box set's embossed. But yeah, you've got your Crypt Keeper, and he introduces each tale now. The first couple of seasons were very, very original. As it went on, I think it got to 7 seasons. I've only got 6, because these are actually not released in the UK. These are Region 1. So I had to purchase I've got a multi-region Blu-ray player, but eventually I will get a multi-region, so I've got a multi-region DVD player eventually, like a Blu-ray player, but yeah, I had to buy them Region 1, so that's why I haven't picked up 7 yet, but I will eventually pick it up. But yeah, to start with, some of these episodes were really, really good, but as it went on, by the time it got to season 6, they were kind of silly, but it's still classic, and they're still really good episodes to watch. They're quite short, which is good to watch as well, because you don't have to, invest a lot of time. You can stick it on whilst you're eating your dinner. Yes, whilst you're eating your dinner, and just enjoy a wee bit of a cheesy Tales from the Crypt. But yeah, I absolutely love Tales from the Crypt. And then we'll move on to Supernatural. So I've actually just ordered season 11 of this, and I love that it's actually been renewed for season 12. So didn't expect Supernatural to outlive Buffy, but there you go. But yeah, I think the reason why Supernatural has lived this long is it's Sam and Dean. It's a combination of the two brothers fighting against angels, demons, monsters, everything. The very first season of this is very much like the first season of Buffy. It's very similar in a way that each episode kind of just was them fighting a different monster, and it was usually a kind of urban legend monster like Bloody Mary and werewolves and stuff like that. But as it went on, it became deeper and darker with some of the stuff that's happened, and certainly there's some really good deaths in Supernatural. I haven't actually finished season 10, so it's on my list of get to the end of it, but the reason why I put this a bit higher than some of the other ones, and it's Sam and Dean. I just really, really love the combination of those two, and what I love about Supernatural as well is that although the series has a lot of dark elements, it also has quite a lot of comedy in it as well, and I think to have a really good horror series, you need to have that equally good balance with comedy, because a lot of horror films do have that. They've got that comedy moment in it to give you a bit of respite from having a panic attack when you're watching it. But yeah, I absolutely love Supernatural. I love that it has been renewed for season 12, and as long as Sam and Dean's in it and they keep coming with fresh ideas, I'll keep watching it, so hope it keeps going. Now, this one here, I don't actually have a box set for it because it's on Netflix and it hasn't been released yet, so we're going to have to settle for looking at the album, which is Stranger Things. This album is so cheap, look at it. It's just a bit of cardboard with a disc stuck in it, but I only picked this up the other day there as well. I went into Stranger Things not really knowing what to expect. It's a Netflix original series, and to be honest, I've watched quite a few of them, and they've never really let me down. But I loved this. I binge watched Stranger Things. It had a perfect element in there of it. It felt like the 80s. Obviously, it felt like you were watching Stand By Me or E.T. or The Goonies or Monster Squad sort of all thrown into one. But I loved the creatures in this, and I loved the idea of that other world that they went into. So although it had a lot of the kind of like the kids fighting back sense in it, the actual scare, like the scary monsters in it, they were genuinely scary. They genuinely were creepy to watch. And the scenes where, Barb kicking it, if you've not seen it, I hope I haven't spoiled anything for you there. I genuinely, although you didn't really know the character, I genuinely was a bit peeved that they got rid of her that way. I just thought, like, come on, give a lassie a better chance than that. But yeah, Stranger Things totally took me by surprise. I loved it, and that's the reason why it's so high up on this list, because I cannot wait for season 2. I want to know what they're going to do next. And a lot of people had a problem with how it ended, but it actually ended in a way that made me want to know more. And that's how you know you've got a really good TV series. So yep, Stranger Things. Then we're moving on to the classic Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Now, I actually would have loved to put Buffy higher, but there's a couple of TV shows that just beat Buffy out there just at the end. But I grew up watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and this will forever be the TV series that reminds me of my childhood, really, growing up watching it. It's great, the character development, the storyline. It's got some deaths in there that will stick with you for the rest of your life. I always remember the episode where Miss Calendar dies, for example. Shot beautifully, done beautifully. It used slow-mo perfectly for that scene. But even the end of Buffy, I think It maybe did go on a little bit too long. Definitely with you know, I thought it was perfect the way that Buffy died, but obviously she came back. But I love the end, and it'll always stick with me, the scene where everybody's going down. And again, I hope I'm not spoiling anything for you if I'm saying this, but all the characters are getting knocked down. You think everybody's going to die, everything's going to lose, and then suddenly they all come fighting back, and I just loved that. I would love to have seen a spin-off. I know there was Angel, and Angel, to be honest, for me, didn't really get good until it got to season 5. But I would have loved to have seen like maybe a spin-off with Giles or something like that. But yeah, Buffy's a classic, and it had to be on this list. And then we've got The Walking Dead. Now, I love The Walking Dead. Absolutely love it. In fact, I've just finished watching season 6 and can't wait for season 7. Who does Negan kill? Well, I know who I think it is, but let's wait and see. I actually read the graphic novels before watching the TV series, and I love that the graphic novels have characters that are alive or dead, that are alive or dead in the TV series. So it's almost like I can continue to read the graphic novels as well as watching the series, because they're doing different things. So sometimes it ruins something when they stick exactly word for word to what the book or the graphic novel does, because you know exactly what's coming. So I like how they've kind of shaken it up a bit, so I don't know what's happening next. But love The Walking Dead, love the creature effects, love the zombies, love the characters, and that's all I'm going to say about that. I even like the spin-off, I even like Fear the Walking Dead, and I'm looking forward to season 2 of that. Then we've got a new one here, which is Ash vs the Evil Dead. Now, I knew I was going to love this, because I love the Evil Dead movies, I love Bruce Campbell, but this was amazing. It was so funny and so bloody, but it worked out so well. I mean, what I like about it as well is it felt like I was watching a comic book. I mean, the episodes are really, really short again, so it's just a nice little stick it on, wham bam, thank you ma'am. But yeah, Evil Dead was excellent. I cannot wait to see the second series, and I keep saying to everybody, because Lucy Lawless is in this, and who doesn't love Lucy Lawless, but like Xena was another show that I grew up watching when I was younger, and everybody, like, I remember it was like a phenomenon that everybody wanted to see Xena and Gabrielle get it on. Now, in Ash vs the Evil Dead, obviously there's a lot of the old characters from Xena coming over. So obviously Ted Ramey's going to be in season 2. We've obviously got Bruce Campbell, who's also in Xena in it. And Lucy Lawless is also in Xena. So I kind of thought, and they've hinted to in Ash vs the Evil Dead that Lucy Lawless's character likes the ladies. So I thought, how funny would it be if they got Gabrielle's, got the girl that played Gabrielle to come into Ash vs the Evil Dead, and finally had Xena and Gabrielle getting it on. Let's bring that on. I think Ash vs the Evil Dead's the type of show that can make that happen. But yeah, this, brilliant. Cannot wait for the next one, and that's why it took position 2. And then right at the top, we have American Horror Story. So American Horror Story, for me, it was a no-brainer had been at position 1, because every single season is different. And it's fresh, and you get to, and what I love as well is all the actors come over. Well, not all of them, but a majority of them reappear in other seasons, and I love that they all link. I haven't seen the new one. Sorry, I don't have Sky, but can't wait to see it. I actually thought Hotel was amazing, because up until Hotel came out, the first American Horror Story was my favourite, because I bought this because I actually seen the poster before I seen the actual TV series, and the poster intrigued me, and I thought, I have to see this thing. So I bought this, binge watched it because it was excellent. Every single episode had me gripped. Season 2, it took me a while to get warmed up into Asylum, but by the time it got to the end of it, I loved Asylum. I wasn't as big a fan of Coven. I did enjoy it, but I wasn't as big a fan. I thought the first and the second were better. And then Freak Show came out, which again I really enjoyed, but it just didn't have the same feel as the first one and the second one. But Hotel really, really blew me away. I thought Hotel was fantastic. I thought Lady Gaga was really good, which I didn't expect to ever think. But yeah, American Horror Story. Can't wait to see what they do with it. I really hope that the new one, is it Roanoke? I might be saying that wrong, or Rannoch, or you know what I'm talking about. I really hope it's not the last one. I'd like to see them round it up with maybe like a modern one, to tie it all back in together. But and have all the characters which have left, like Jessica Lange and the actors for the first one, just try and pull them all back, like Connie Britton and stuff, try and pull every single one of them back into the end of the series. That would be great to see. But yeah, I hope you agree with my horror list, and if not, obviously let me know, and if you do, let me know. And as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and take care.